in your experience, what were some of those decisions that were really difficult, and what were the factors that you thought about? How did you approach them?
There were several tough decisions. One of our large customers, Penn State, they wanted to use our lab system to administer exams at Penn State. And we said, listen, it's not intended to be an exam system, because if you are using it to administer an exam, we have to worry about load. We have to make sure the system is up. It'll have 500 students pounding at it at the same time. It's a different flow. And we said, please don't. But they really wanted to, and they did. And things worked okay maybe once, but not the second time, and then they dropped us. But we stuck to our guns and saying we are not an exam system. Right? Much later, many years later, we built out an exam system, right? Building out an exam system. So it was tough walking away from a Penn State because they went somewhere else, and we were proud of having Penn State as a user. They're a very big CS program and so on. The hardest decision by far, and I think it's still something the team is probably thinking of, is whether to stick in computer science or to move to other disciplines. Because the fear of just staying in computer science was, it's a small discipline. What's going to happen year 5, year 6, year 7, right? Now, CS grew dramatically as a discipline, but we wanted should we take our precious resources and move them into launching a new discipline? So there were a lot of heated debates about that within the company. And we did try getting into math. It was not hugely successful, but eventually it became successful through one of our channels. But it was initially, for early on, we thought we could do zyBooks for math. Very difficult. We did invest a lot. It did not work out. But I think where we were good was we were good at cutting the experiments, or saying, okay, we failed at this, we're going to walk away from it, as opposed to persisting for a long time. We thought we would get into physics. We did one chapter, couple sections. We did a lot of customer research. We went out in the market, and then we realized it was going to be really tough. So our biggest challenge really was this fear of just staying narrow and going deep, or should we go broad? And I think there's a balance now where we've gone to 4 disciplines, not to 20, but still the deepest in one discipline, which is computer science. So resource allocation, that's the toughest decision. Yeah.
And that's a great example. I'd love to know how you manage this kind of overarching decision that doesn't go away, because it's not an immediate yes or no right now. It's a decision on product direction. Did you have a cadence for readdressing or addressing the topic and revisiting it, hearing the opinions of the senior leadership team? Because I presume it wasn't one discussion, case closed, it was something you regularly came back to. So how did you approach that?
Yeah, I really loved our strategy discussions and the cadence we put in place. It fell into that cadence, but we met as a leadership team twice a year. Before we met, we solicited, and we had full representation, marketing, sales, both the co-founders, product, institutional sales. So we had full representation, support, and so on, the support team. And ahead of time, we said, okay, what is it that you need to get your work done that you'd like to highlight? What is it that the open questions that you want to discuss? And so we compiled all of that, and these questions always popped up. The content director would say, is it time to start looking at IT as a discipline, as an example? We did 3 days in a room. We whiteboarded, no laptops, no phones. And it was such a healthy discussion. Lots of whiteboarding, lots of big flip charts open. And at the end of it, before we left, we said, okay, here are the top 3 things we're doing, and we've decided not to do these things. And not everyone liked it. Not everyone liked that decision. But there was an attempt at disagree and commit. As an example, something that kept getting off the list is collaboration features within the platform. Students can't talk with each other. There's no pair programming, and so on. And it would get on the list, it would get off the list. And not everyone liked that within the team, because there were some who were strong advocates for that. But generally, the reason we picked something else is because we could see the clear need. We could see that we can build it and we can sell it the day we build it. And we could see how it would impact our revenue. We could see impact on students. Like, they want more exercises to do, more problems. They want more labs. Instructors want more automation, more grading. You could see that. But I really love the process, and it's a process that, as I'm advising as well, I'm trying to take to other young companies.